Captain Jun Park stood on the bridge of the USS Blackstar, hands clasped behind his back as he studied the tactical display. The experimental stealth destroyer represented humanity's last, best hope against the Vracan Dominion. After 3 years of devastating losses, the United Systems Alliance needed a miracle. "Engineering reports all systems nominal, Captain," said Lieutenant Hannah Kim, her voice steady despite the tension permeating the bridge. "Thank you, Lieutenant." June nodded. "Maintain stealth protocols. We reach Outpost Sigma in 14 hours. Commander Taiwan, tactical officer and June's oldest friend, approached with a troubled expression. "Captain, we're receiving a distress call. Colony Helios is under Vracan attack." June frowned. "Helios? That's 6 parsecs off our course. Civilian casualties reported." Taiwan added quietly, "They're requesting immediate assistance." The bridge fell silent. Their orders were explicit. Maintain stealth. Reach their strategic position. Prepare for Operation Sundown. Any deviation risked exposing their new technology before it could be deployed where it would make the most difference. "How many colonists on Helios?" June asked. 8,000, sir." June made his decision. "Helm, plot intercept course to Helios Colony. Maximum speed." "Sir." Taiwan stepped closer, lowering his voice. Command was very clear about. "I'm aware of our orders, Commander." June met his gaze steadily. "But I didn't join the fleet to hide while civilians die. The Blackstar was built to fight. It's time we did." The Blackstar changed course, its powerful engines pushing the ship to its limits. The crew moved with purpose, preparing for battle. Most had never seen actual combat against the Vracan. The insect-like aliens had superior technology and fought with a hive mind that made them deadly opponents. Lieutenant Hannah Kim checked her station readings again. The stealth systems were working perfectly, bending light and masking their energy signature. But once they engaged the enemy, that advantage would disappear. "Sir, we'll reach Helios in 40 minutes, she reported. June nodded and turned to the weapons officer. "Lieutenant Sun, prepare the quantum resonance cannons. This will be your first real test." Sun looked nervous but determined. "Yes, sir. Cannons will be ready." The Blackstar's quantum resonance technology was untested in actual combat. The scientists claimed it could penetrate Vracan shields by matching their exact frequency and disrupting them from within. If it worked, they might save the colony. If not, Commander Taiwan approached June at the view screen. They had served together for 8 years. "I understand your decision," he said quietly. "But if we fail, the technology could be captured. And if we succeed, we prove the QR cannons work," June replied. "Sometimes you have to take risks, old friend." The ship's AI announced their approach to the Helios system. June ordered the view screen to show the colony. What they saw made the bridge crew gasp. 3 Vracan destroyers hung in orbit, firing methodically at the colony's shields. On the surface, smaller Vracan ships were landing troops. The colony's few defense ships were already destroyed, floating as debris. "Scan for survivors," June ordered. "Colony shields at 18%, reported Taiwan. "They'll fail in minutes. I'm detecting approximately 7,800 life signs on the surface." June studied the Vracan ships. They followed a standard pattern. Precise, methodical, efficient. The Vracan never showed mercy or accepted surrender. They simply eliminated obstacles. "We need a battle plan," June said. "We can't take on 3 destroyers head-on." "The quantum cannons might work," said Lieutenant Sun, "but we should target 1 ship at a time." "Agreed," said June. "We'll focus on the lead destroyer. If we can destroy it quickly, it might confuse the others." Hannah spoke up from her station. "Sir, I have an idea. The Helios system has an unusually dense asteroid field. We could use it for cover, strike quickly, then retreat back into the field." June smiled at her. "Good thinking, Lieutenant. Helm, take us into the asteroid field. Let's approach from an unexpected angle." The Blackstar slipped between massive asteroids, its advanced navigation systems guiding it safely. The Vraken continued their assault on the colony, unaware of the approaching threat. "All hands to battle stations," June ordered. "Weapons, lock quantum resonance cannons on the lead destroyer. Target their primary power core." The crew tensed as the ship emerged from the asteroid field, just 10,000 kilometers from the nearest Vraken ship. "Disengage stealth systems," June commanded. "Fire quantum resonance cannons." The Blackstar became visible as brilliant blue-white energy surged from its main weapons array. The beam struck the Vraken destroyer, and for a moment nothing happened. Then, the alien ship's shields flickered and collapsed. The beam continued through, cutting deep into the vessel's hull. "Direct hit," shouted Lieutenant Sun. Enemy shields failed completely. The Vraken ship listed to one side, secondary explosions rippling across its surface. The other two destroyers immediately broke off their attack on the colony and turned toward the Blackstar. "It worked," Ta-1 said, amazement in his voice. "The quantum resonance actually worked." June allowed himself a small smile. "Take us back into the asteroid field. Let them follow. We'll pick them off one at a time." As the Blackstar dove back into the protection of the asteroids, the crew realized something had changed. For the first time in this long war, they had a real advantage against the Vraken. The U.S. Blackstar had entered the fight, and soon the enemy would never recover. The Blackstar dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Helios system, sensors immediately cataloging the devastation. Colonial defense vessels drifted in pieces. The main settlement's protective shield flickered weakly. "Maintaining stealth systems," reported Ensign Sumin. "They haven't detected us." Through the view screen, Jun watched the Vraken ships, 6 sleek, chitinous vessels shaped like elongated diamonds, methodically firing upon the colony's defenses. "Analysis, Commander," Jun asked. Ta-1 studied his console. "Standard Vraken assault pattern." "They're taking their time, sir. They don't expect resistance." Lieutenant Jin, the Blackstar's weapons specialist, spoke up. "Captain, our quantum resonance cannons are untested in actual combat. Simulations suggest they'll penetrate Vraken shields, but we won't know until we try." June finished. He made a quick decision. "Target the smallest vessel first. Let's test our theory before engaging the entire group." "Targeting smallest vessel," Jin confirmed. "QR cannons charge." June took a deep breath. "Disengage stealth systems. Fire." The Blackstar shimmered into visibility as brilliant blue-white energy lanced from its forward array. The beam struck the Vraken ship and passed straight through its shields, slicing the vessel in half. The bridge crew stared in stunned silence. "It worked," Jin whispered. "It actually worked." The remaining Vraken ships turned toward them, their formation breaking as they registered this new threat. "All hands, battle stations," Jun ordered, his voice calm despite the adrenaline coursing through him. "Let's show these bugs what humanity can do." The 5 remaining Vraken ships moved with unnatural coordination, spreading out to surround the Blackstar. Their hive mind allowed them to act as one organism, making them deadly opponents. "They're trying to box us in," Ta-1 warned. "Classic encirclement pattern." June nodded. "Helm, full thrusters. Keep us moving. Don't let them predict our course." The Blackstar surged forward, its engines pushing to maximum output. The ship shuddered as the first Vraken energy blasts struck their shields. "Shields holding at 92%, reported Lieutenant Hannah from her station. "Their weapons are powerful, but not penetrating." "Return fire," June ordered. "Target the vessel at coordinates 227 Mark 34. Jin's fingers flew across his console. "QR cannons recharge." Firing. The blue-white beam lanced out again, striking another Vraken ship. This time, the alien vessel's shields flared brightly before collapsing. The beam sliced through one of its weapon arrays, leaving the ship damaged but operational. "They're adapting," Jin said with alarm. They've already started modifying their shield frequencies. June had expected this. The Vraken collective intelligence allowed them to learn and adapt rapidly. It was their greatest strength. Keep changing our QR frequencies, he ordered. Don't give them time to compensate. The battle intensified as the Vraken ships coordinated their attacks. The Blackstar rocked from multiple impacts. Shields down to 78%, Hannah reported. Minor damage to decks 3 and 5. June studied the tactical display. The Vraken had formed a loose sphere around them, limiting their maneuvering options. But he noticed something interesting. The Vraken ships never crossed into each other's firing lines. Tadwan, are you seeing this? He asked, pointing to the display. They're maintaining perfect firing positions. The tactical officer nodded. They're avoiding friendly fire. Their coordination is impressive. And we can use it against them, Jones said. Helm, on my mark. Execute a full reverse with starboard thrusters only. The Vraken continued their coordinated attack, their beams striking the Blackstar's shields from multiple angles. Shields at 65%, warned Hannah. We can't take this much longer. Now, June ordered. The Blackstar suddenly reversed course and spun to starboard, placing two Vraken ships in direct alignment with each other. Just as June had predicted, both ships hesitated for a crucial second to avoid firing on their ally. Target the lead ship, June commanded. The QR cannons fired, striking the Vraken vessel directly in its power core. The ship exploded spectacularly, the blast wave damaging the vessel behind it. Direct hit, Jin exclaimed. One destroyed, one disabled. The remaining 3 Vraken ships broke formation, trying to regroup. The Blackstar pressed its advantage, its EQR cannons firing repeatedly. They're confused, Tadwan observed. Their hive mind can't compensate fast enough for the losses. Another Vraken ship exploded as the QR beam found its mark. The final 2 began to retreat, accelerating away from the colony. Should we pursue? Asked Ensign Sumin from the helm. June shook his head. No, the colony is our priority. He turned to Hannah. Open a channel to the surface. Channel open, she confirmed. Helios Colony, this is Captain June Park of the USS Blackstar. Your distress call has been answered. We've driven off the Vraken forces and are standing by to assist. The response came immediately, the relief evident in the colonial governor's voice. Blackstar, we thought we were finished. The shields are about to fail. We have wounded and damaged throughout the settlement. We're sending medical teams and engineers, Jung assured them. Hold on just a little longer. As the Blackstar moved into orbit around the colony, the crew finally relaxed slightly. They had faced the dreaded Vraken and won decisively. Send a coded message to Alliance Command, Joan told Tadwan. Tell them the quantum resonance technology works better than we hoped. The Vraken shields can't stop it. Taiwan smiled for the first time since they'd received the distress call. This could change everything, couldn't it? June nodded, watching as the remaining Vraken ships disappeared from long-range sensors. Yes, old friend. For the first time in this war, we have hope. The war room aboard Alliance Station Epsilon buzzed with activity as Captain John Park entered. 3 weeks had passed since the Blackstar's unexpected victory at Helios. In that time, 12 Alliance vessels had been retrofitted with quantum resonance technology. Admiral Lee nodded to June as he took his seat. Captain, your ship's success has given us an opportunity we can't waste. The tactical display illuminated, showing a distant star system near Vraken territory. This is Cerberus Outpost, the Admiral continued. Our intelligence suggests it's a major supply hub for Vraken forces in this sector. Captain Park, you'll lead a strike force of 4 ships to destroy it. June studied the display. What about their defensive capabilities? Unknown, Admiral Lee admitted, but your QR weapons should give you the edge. The mission briefing continued, laying out approach vectors and contingencies. As officers filtered out afterward, Commander Taiwan approached Jun with a data tablet. "Sir, there's something you should see." The tablet displayed intercepted Vracan communications, meaningless symbols to most, but Taiwan had specialized in xenolinguistics before becoming a tactical officer. "I've been analyzing their communication patterns," he explained. "There's been a significant increase in traffic between their central hive and their forward fleets. Something big is happening." Jun frowned. "Can you determine what?" "Not specifically, but—" Taiwan hesitated. "Sir, I believe they're preparing for a major offensive. The patterns match those before their attacks on Proxima and New Berlin." Jun's blood ran cold. Those attacks had resulted in millions of civilian casualties. "We need to bring this to Admiral Lee." 3 days later, the intelligence was confirmed. A massive Vracan fleet was assembling. Its target unmistakable: Earth itself. "The main fleet can't intercept in time," Admiral Lee told the Emergency Council. "We need at least 3 days to assemble our forces, but the Vracan will reach Earth in 2. Silence fell over the war room until Jun spoke up. "The Blackstar can intercept," he said quietly. "We can't stop them, but we might be able to slow them down." Admiral Lee shook her head. "That's a suicide mission, Captain." "Maybe." Jun met her gaze. "But if we don't try, Earth falls." The silence that followed was heavy. Officers looked at one another, the reality of the situation sinking in. Earth, the heart of the Alliance and home to over 11 billion people, would be defenseless. "I volunteer the Defiant to join Blackstar," said Captain Min suddenly. Her ship had been one of the first retrofitted with QR technology after Blackstar's success. Captain Dong stood as well. "The Intrepid will go too." Admiral Lee looked at the 3 captains, her expression torn between gratitude and regret. 3 ships against a Vracan armada. The odds are impossible. "With respect, Admiral," Jun replied, "we've been facing impossible odds since this war began. The difference now is that we have a weapon that works." The meeting ended with grim determination. The 3 ships would depart immediately, hoping to intercept the Vracan fleet at the Henderson Nebula, a natural choke point in their path to Earth. Back aboard the Blackstar, Jun addressed his crew over the ship-wide communication system. He told them the truth. They were heading into what might be their final battle. When he finished, not a single crew member requested transfer. They were all willing to risk everything. "The ship's ready, Captain," Lieutenant Hanna reported as Jun returned to the bridge. "All systems at peak efficiency." "And the crew?" he asked quietly. "Scared," she admitted, "but determined. They believe in you, sir." Jun nodded. "Plot course to the Henderson Nebula. Maximum speed." The 3 Alliance ships traveled in formation, making the journey in tense silence. Commander Taiwan spent the time analyzing every scrap of intelligence they had on Vracan battle tactics. They'd never faced QR weapons before Helios, he told Jun in the captain's ready room. But they adapt quickly. "We'll need to be unpredictable." "We'll coordinate with the Defiant and Intrepid," Jun replied. "Different attack patterns, random targeting. Make it impossible for their hive mind to develop a unified defense." The Blackstar reached the Henderson Nebula first. The massive cloud of gas and dust would mask their approach until the last moment. Captain Min's Defiant arrived soon after, followed by the Intrepid. "We have them on long-range sensors," reported Lieutenant Jin from the weapons station. 26 Vracan ships, including 3 dreadnoughts. The bridge crew tensed. A single dreadnought could obliterate all 3 Alliance vessels under normal circumstances. "Message from Captain Min," said Hanna. "She's asking for final coordination." Jun activated the secure channel. The faces of Captains Min and Dong appeared on screen. "We'll use the nebula for cover," Jun explained. "Strike hard and fast, then retreat back into the clouds before they can organize a response." "Hit and run," Captain Min nodded. "We just need to slow them down." 24 hours, Captain Dong added. "If we can delay them that long, the Alliance fleet will arrive." The three captains shared a final look of solidarity before the transmission ended. None of them voiced what they all knew. The chances of surviving 24 hours against such overwhelming force were slim. "All hands to battle stations," Jun ordered. "Weapons, prepare QR cannons for rapid-fire sequence." The crew moved with practiced efficiency, their faces showing a mix of fear and resolve. Lieutenant Hannah monitored the Vraken fleet's approach. "They're maintaining formation," she reported. "No indication they've detected us yet." Jun stood from his captain's chair, looking at each of his bridge officers. These people had become his family over years of service. He was asking them to face almost certain death. "Whatever happens next," he said quietly, "I want you all to know it's been an honor serving with you. The Alliance will remember what we do here today." He turned to the view screen, watching as the massive Vraken fleet approached the nebula's edge. "Prepare to engage on my mark," he ordered. "Let's show these bugs that humanity doesn't go down without a fight." The Blackstar, flanked by the destroyers Defiant and Intrepid, moved into position at the Henderson Nebula, the only point through which the Vraken fleet could approach Earth without a week-long detour. "Vraken fleet detected," Lieutenant Hannah announced. 26 ships, including 3 dreadnoughts. Jun surveyed his bridge crew, faces tense but determined. "This is what the Blackstar was built for," he reminded them. "We just need to hold them for 24 hours until reinforcements arrive." "Sir," Jin spoke up from weapons, "I've been analyzing our previous encounters. The Vraken adapt quickly, but their adaptations are predictable. If we vary our attack patterns in a random rather than logical sequence, they won't be able to anticipate us." Jun finished, nodding. "Make it happen, Lieutenant." The 3 Alliance ships moved forward as one, their quantum cannons lashing out at the approaching armada. 2 Vraken vessels exploded immediately, and a third spun out of formation, critically damaged. For the first hour, the battle proceeded better than Jun had dared hope. The Vraken couldn't predict their targeting patterns, and the QR weapons continued to penetrate their shields. Then the Vraken adapted. "They're targeting our propulsion systems," Ta-1 reported as the Blackstar shuddered. "Trying to immobilize us." "Evasive pattern Delta," Jun ordered. "Keep moving." The Intrepid wasn't so fortunate. A concentrated barrage from 3 Vraken cruisers crippled its engines. Within minutes, it was destroyed. Hour after hour, the battle raged. The Defiant fell next, but not before taking 2 more Vraken ships with it. The Blackstar, now alone, continued its desperate defense. "Hull breach on Deck 6, reported Hannah, her console sparking from a power surge. "Emergency force fields holding, but structural integrity is failing." "QR cannons down to 40% efficiency," added Jin. "We can't maintain this output much longer." Jun grimaced. They'd destroyed 8 Vraken ships and damaged 7 more, but 18 remained operational, and the Blackstar was falling apart around them. "Sir," Ta-1 called out suddenly, "I'm detecting multiple hyperspace signatures." The view screen illuminated with the most beautiful sight Jun had ever seen. 15 Alliance vessels dropping out of hyperspace, their weapons arrays already charging. "Alliance fleet to Blackstar," came Admiral Lee's voice over the comm. "Hope we're not too late to the party." The reinforcements engaged immediately, their upgraded weapons tearing through the already disorganized Vraken formation. The enemy, caught between the newcomers and the still-fighting Blackstar, found themselves in disarray for the first time in the war. Within an hour, it was over. The remaining Vraken ships retreated, leaving their dead and disabled behind. As emergency repair crews worked to stabilize the critically damaged Blackstar, Admiral Lee's hologram appeared on the bridge. "Captain Park," she said, emotion evident in her voice, "you and your crew have done the impossible. The Vraken are retreating across all fronts. Intelligence suggests they're completely reevaluating their strategy against us." Jun looked around at his battered bridge, at his exhausted but proud crew. "We just gave humanity a fighting chance, Admiral," he replied simply. The Blackstar did what it was designed to do. 3 months later, as the repaired and upgraded Blackstar prepared to lead the Alliance's first major offensive into Vracan territory, the story of its stand at Henderson Nebula had become legend. How a single ship had entered the fight, and the enemy never recovered. The battle at Henderson Nebula changed everything. For 18 grueling hours, the Blackstar had held the line against overwhelming odds. Now Jum stood in his quarters, looking at the new medal on his uniform. The Alliance Star of Valor gleamed under the lights. He was not the only one. Every surviving crew member had received honors. June touched the scar on his face, a reminder of when a console had exploded during the fight. The ship still carried its own scars, despite the repairs. Engineers had worked day and night to make the Blackstar battle-ready again. A chime sounded at his door. Commander Ta-1 entered, carrying a data tablet. "The fleet is ready, Captain," he said. 12 ships, all equipped with the latest UR technology. June nodded. "And the crew?" "Morale is high. The new crew members have integrated well with the veterans. They had lost 27 people at Henderson Nebula. Good people. Friends. Their names were now engraved on a memorial wall near the ship's mess hall. The Vracan won't be surprised this time," Jum said. "They'll be ready for us." Tai-1 smiled. "Yes, but they're afraid now. For the first time, they know they can lose." Reports from across Alliance space confirmed it. The Vracan were pulling back, consolidating their forces. 3 years of constant advancement had stopped because of one ship, the Blackstar. "Admiral Lee has authorized the mission." Tai-1 continued. "We launch in 2 hours." June followed his friend to the bridge. The crew stood straighter as he entered. Many wore bandages or had artificial limbs now. The price of victory had been high. Lieutenant Hannah smiled from her station. Her left arm was now a prosthetic, but her skills remained unmatched. "All systems ready, Captain," she reported. "Lieutenant Jin, weapon status?" Joan asked. Jin, who had worked miracles keeping the QR cannons operational during the battle, nodded confidently. "Fully charged and upgraded, sir. The new targeting system is 30% faster." June took his seat in the captain's chair. The familiar hum of the Blackstar's engines was comforting. This ship had become more than metal and technology. It had become a symbol. "Open a channel to the fleet," he ordered. The view screen showed the captains of the 11 other ships, all veterans, all determined. "This is Captain Park," he began. 3 months ago, the Blackstar stood alone against the Vracan. We were one ship against impossible odds. Today, we are 12 ships. Today, we take the fight to them." The captains nodded in agreement. "The Vracan believed humans were easy prey," Jum continued. "They believed their superior technology made victory inevitable. The Blackstar proved them wrong. Now it's time to prove it wasn't a fluke." He ended the transmission and turned to his bridge crew. "Helm, set course for Vracan space, maximum speed." As the Blackstar led the fleet into hyperspace, Jum thought about how much had changed. Before Helios, humanity had been fighting a losing war. Now they had hope. Now they had a chance. The Blackstar had entered the fight, and the enemy never recovered. The end